We are going to read some more bedtime stories. So snuggle in and get ready because here we go. We're going to start with Winnie the Pooh, A Good Night's Sleep. It was springtime in the Hundred Acre Woods. Winnie the Pooh and Piglet took a walk in the warm sunshine. Hooray! The cold winter is over, Piglet cheered. No more mittens and scarves, said Pooh. No more cold noses and toes, added Piglet. And plenty of yummy honey, finished Pooh. Pooh and Piglet walked until they reached their friend Rabbit's house. Rabbit was outside working in his garden. He looked very tired and a little grumpy. What's the matter, Rabbit? Piglet asked. Are you happy it's spring? Don't even say that word. I hate spring, Rabbit moaned. Pooh and Piglet were puzzled. So Rabbit explained, You see, that bird family up there, they sing before the sun rises every morning. And they are right outside my bedroom window. I can't get any sleep. Oh dear, said Piglet. We must do something to help. Pooh wasn't sure what to do or to say to Rabbit. Perhaps it would help if you moved somewhere else. Rabbit jumped up with an exclamation. Oh, Pooh, what a great idea. I would love to move in with you. Unfortunately for Pooh, that wasn't what he meant at all, but now it looked like he was going to have an unexpected guest. So Pooh and Piglet helped move a few of Rabbit's things into Pooh's house. As they were finishing up, the bird family flew away from the rabbit's house. Look, said Pooh, the birds are flying away. They'll be back soon, singing as usual, Rabbit told him. They're just going out to get a bite to eat. Oh, said Pooh, a little bit disappointed. When the friends reached Pooh's home, they began unpacking. Rabbit, said Pooh, you sure have brought a lot of things. Suddenly there seemed to be very little room for Pooh. The next morning, Rabbit woke up early after a wonderful night's sleep. Rise and shine, he called, pulling back Pooh's covers. Pooh immediately pulled them back up again. He was still sleepy. Pooh, it's time to get up, he scolded. The vegetables aren't going to plant themselves, you know. Once Pooh had finally gotten out of bed, they walked to Rabbit's vegetable garden. Together they planted seeds in neat little rows. Perhaps bears aren't meant for such hard work, thought Pooh, but at least he could enjoy the cheerful songs of the bird family, who sang all day. Pooh rather liked their music. Later, Piglet arrived. I was just over at your house, Pooh, said Piglet, but you weren't home. No, I'm not home, said Pooh sadly. Pooh took Piglet aside. I am rather tired because Rabbit woke me up, said Pooh, and I've got an awful rumbling in my tumble, you see. I haven't had any honey. Pooh wished that he could have his little house all to himself again. Maybe Owl will know what to do, suggested Piglet. When Pooh and Piglet found Owl, he was too busy to help. I'm afraid I simply can't talk right now, Owl said. My favorite napping branch is waiting for me. Owl flew up to an old oak tree, but a little sparrow was sitting right in Owl's favorite spot. It looks like my branch is already occupied, said Owl. I guess I'll just have to find another one. As Owl flew off, Pooh began to have an idea. He and Piglet hurried to Pooh's thoughtful spot to come and make a plan. We need the bird family to find a different branch to sing on, Pooh said. But how will we get there? How will we get them to move us, Piglet? Pooh sat and thought. Think, he said, as he patted his head. Finally, all of his thinking turned into a real plan. When the birds fly off at night to look for food, we will take their spot, said Pooh. Then they will have to find another branch, and that will have to be their favorite one, just like Owl and the Sparrow, Piglet cheered. Pooh told Rabbit about their plan to move the bird family. Now Rabbit would be able to stay in his own home without worrying about the birds every morning singing their songs. What a splendid idea, Rabbit said. I'm glad I thought of it. They moved all of Rabbit's things back into the house. That night, Pooh and Piglet waited by the tree until the birds flew off. When they did, the friends started to climb up the bird's tree and got into their favorite branch. Rabbit offered to sit out there with them, but there was only enough room for two. At least take this blanket, said Rabbit, and thank you for your help, my dear friends, he said. So Pooh and Piglet waited and waited and waited. They tried their best to stay awake, but the blanket was awfully warm and comfortable. Soon the friends were fast asleep. The next morning, Pooh and Piglet woke up to the sound of birds singing. Look, she said, as they pointed to the sky. The bird family swooped down toward their favorite branch, but then they saw that there wasn't any room on their branch. They flew in a different direction. Hooray, said Piglet. The plan worked. The pair checked to see if Rabbit was asleep. He won't be woken up by singing birds today, said Piglet. Pooh and Piglet walked toward their homes as the sun rose over the 100-acre woods. I'm sure the bird family has found another favorite branch by now, said Pooh. Pooh was right. The birds had found a new branch right outside his window. It seemed he would have to get used to a few more unexpected guests. Luckily, Pooh didn't mind the bird's song. He thought it sounded a bit like a lullaby. Within minutes, Pooh was once again fast asleep. At last, Rabbit, Pooh, and the bird family were all happy in their homes. The end. And we're going to go for one more story. This is Lady and the Tramp, Scamp the Hero. Are we ready to begin? Be careful, Scamp, Lady called as she watched her son dash across the yard. Don't bounce the ball too hard, Lady. Tramp and the 4 puppies were playing together outside their home. Scamp, the only boy puppy, was just like his father, always looking for an adventure. After they finished playing ball, Scamp asked to visit the park by himself. All right, Tramp said to his son, but be careful. I will, promised Scamp. Scamp bounded out past the fence and onto the sidewalk. There was so much to see beyond his yard. He stopped to watch cars that were honking and beeping at one another. He thought about chasing them, but he remembered his promise to his father. Scamp was determined to not get into any trouble. But it wasn't long before trouble found him. Scamp passed an alley where a pack of big dogs were snarling at a little white poodle. The frightened puppy was backed up against a fence. She couldn't escape. Stay away from me, the little poodle barked. Scamp knew he had to help. He certainly couldn't fight the other dogs, but he didn't know what else he could do. He knew he would have to try to scare them away anyway. Then Scamp had an idea. He carefully crept behind a trash can and pushed it over. Clang, bang, crash. The noise frightened the big dogs away. His trick had worked. Unfortunately, he also made a big mess. Garbage was everywhere. But Scamp was more worried about the fluffy little white poodle. Don't be frightened, he told her. I'm friendly. My name is Princess, the poodle said, and you're my hero. Scamp liked being someone's hero. Why were those dogs bothering you? Asked Scamp. Because they wanted this, said Princess. She pulled something out from behind a box. Wow, exclaimed Scamp. That's the biggest dog bone I've ever seen. Princess offered to share the bone with Scamp, but before they could start chewing on it, 2 police officers walked down the alley. Scamp and Princess quickly hid. Scamp noticed the officers pointing to the garbage can. He had tipped over. Uh-oh, he thought. Scamp was worried he would be taken to the pound if they caught him. Then his parents would never let him go out on his own again. Let's get out of here, Scamp whispered to Princess. The 2 puppies bolted away as the policeman examined the mess in the alleyway. Scamp and Princess raced down a hill and into the park. But all that running had made the puppies very thirsty. Scamp hid the bone beneath a few leaves. Let's get a drink of water before we have this, he suggested. It will be safe here. But when they got back, Scamp saw that a gardener had raked up the bone into a big pile of leaves. Scamp sprang into action. He dove straight into the leaves to get the bone back. Hey, stop that, yelled the gardener. Before the gardener could catch him, Scamp grabbed the bone. He and Princess ran away once again, scattering leaves everywhere. Scamp sure was getting into a lot of trouble. Just then, Princess spotted a stern-looking police dog. He seemed to be looking for something. Maybe he's looking for us because of all the trouble I've caused, Scamp worried. He thought about running away again, but Scamp remembered his promise to his parents. He knew what he had to do. Scamp bravely stepped toward the police dog carrying the giant bone. What's going on here? The police dog barked. I made the mess in the alley and scattered the garbage piles of leaves, Scamper said. But the police dog wasn't listening to Scamp. He was inspecting every inch of the princess's bone. Yes, I think this is it, he announced. What? Scamp asked. Let me explain, said the police officer dog. Last night there was a robbery in the museum. What did the thief take? Asked Scamp. A giant bone from our dinosaur skeleton, answered the police dog. He looked seriously at Scamp and Princess. That bone was exactly like this one. Where did you get it? I didn't steal it, Princess exclaimed. I found it in an alley. Maybe the real thief hid the bone there, suggested Scamp. The police dog thought Scamp might be right. Come with me, he said. Meanwhile, Lady and Tramp were out looking for Scamp. He had been gone for a long time, and they couldn't find him anywhere. They searched the park, but Scamp wasn't there. Then they went to the pound, and they couldn't find him there either. Then they went to the pond, where Scamp loved to chase ducks, but Scamp wasn't there. They even went to Tony's restaurant, but Scamp wasn't there either. Lady and the Tramp were starting to get very worried. Finally, as they were walking along Main Street, they heard someone shout, Scamp, look over there. Tramp froze in his tracks. He saw a crowd of excited puppies at the museum down the street. The pair ran inside, hoping to find their son. Lady and Tramp saw Scamp right away. Photographers were taking pictures of him and a white puppy. What's going on here? Tramp asked Lady. I don't know, Lady said, but I'm just happy that Scamp is all right. When Scamp noticed his parents, he and the princess ran over to them. I'm sorry I didn't come straight home, Scamp told them, but we had to help the police solve a robbery. Your son's a hero, said Princess. Tramp grinned. That's my boy. Princess was the one who found the stolen bone, Scamp said. He wasn't used to so much attention. The director of the museum cleared his throat to make an announcement. To think our little heroes were prepared a feast. He pointed to a long table covered in treats for the puppies. Scamp licked his lips. He had never seen as much delicious food all at once before, and there were stacks of bones for him and Princess to enjoy, even if they weren't from a dinosaur. The end. If you've enjoyed these stories, please hit the like and subscribe button so that you will be notified when I make more stories. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.